Watch this video to learn how to manually add a bill in Xero. You can use the plus icon from anywhere in Xero to quickly add a bill, or click Purchases, then choose Bills. Click New Bill, then choose New Bill from the list. In the From field, type a name to search for an existing contact. In this example, we'll type car to find the right supplier. If they don't have a contact record in Xero, click New Contact to add one, or choose the supplier from the list. We'll choose Carlton Functions. Xero pre-fills the bill date as today's date. Type in the date field or use the calendar picker to enter the date that matches the supplier paperwork. For example, we'll choose the 31st of July for a bill we've recently received. Xero will pre-fill the due date if you set a default for the supplier in their contact record, or if you entered a bill default due date for all bills in your invoice settings. Xero prioritizes the supplier default over the general bill setting. Enter or change the date by using the calendar picker, typing a date into the field, or using keyboard shortcuts. For example, we'll type +30 and tab on our keyboard to quickly add the due date. Enter an optional, unique reference to help identify bills, for example, a purchase order number. Xero warns you if you've used the reference for another bill. Use the File icon to attach relevant documents from your file library or upload them from your device. If you're using a Xero pricing plan, which includes multi-currency, check and update the selected currency as needed. Then choose to display amounts as tax exclusive, where Xero calculates tax on top of the unit price. Tax inclusive, where Xero calculates tax as part of the unit price, or no tax if you're not registered for sales tax. We'll keep tax inclusive chosen. Moving on, let's complete the bill details. If you've chosen a supplier, you've previously added a bill for an Add Last Items option appears below the From field. Click the link to quickly add the details from the previous bill for this contact. Then, update and add more information as needed to agree to the supplier paperwork. We'll add some more lines for other costs itemized on the bill. In this example, we'll enter a description of lunch catering to add details of the services purchased. Then, add the quantity and unit price from the supplier paperwork. Choose a code in the Account field to categorize the cost. We'll search for and choose Catering. Check the tax rate is correct for the expense. Choose the correct tax rate to update it if needed. If you have tracking set up, you can choose a tracking option. Use the drop-down to choose your option, or add new tracking option to create a new one. As you add amounts to the bill, Xero updates the total at the bottom of the bill. If you need to include a discount you've received from your supplier, you can update the unit price, or change the quantity to reflect the reduction. For example, we'll update the quantity from 1 to 0.9 for the 10% discount we've received on the lunch catering. To reorder item lines, click the far left side of a line Then drag and drop them into the order that matches the paperwork. To ensure you've added all the details, you can click Add a new line, or use the drop-down to add 5, 10, or 20 lines if you need them. If you've paid expenses that relate to a specific customer or project, you can assign the costs to pass them on. Click Assign Expenses to a Customer or Project. Type the customer or project name to search for them. You can use the drop-down and choose Decide Customer Later to assign the costs at a later date. Once you've chosen the customer or project, use the checkboxes to choose the costs to assign. Click Assign and then OK to save the details. You can assign costs to different customers or projects by repeating the process. You can add the billable expense when you next invoice the customer. Click Save or use the drop-down arrow to Save and Continue Editing, Save and Submit for Approval, or Save and Add Another. If you have the correct user permissions, click Approve or use the drop-down to Approve and Add Another. Let's click Approve to finalize the bill. The bill will appear in the relevant tab of the Bills page, depending on the option you choose.